Okay, it is 6:56. We have returned from our executive session. No decisions were made. Item number 13.
Wait a minute.
No, we did not make a decision. We are voting here.
Yeah, we're voting here.
So, item number 13, appointment of vacant council seat number 1. Do I have a motion or?
I'll go get it. That's a fail here. We didn't get it. Johnny can.
I think he can hear you.
Yeah, I just told Marie. I don't think you can see you either.
I guess that we're muted. All right. Item number 13, appointment of vacant council seat number 1. Do I have a motion or discussion?
I'll make a motion to appoint Dave Anderson for vacant council seat number 1. I second.
Do we have any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay. Motion carries. It's Dave Anderson. Mr. Anderson, is he in the building? So, where's Mr.? Just a moment, please. We're printing.
Sworn in first. This was
Okay,
your dad.
Mr. Anderson, this is my first time.
I have to raise my right hand.
Raise your right hand. I, David Anderson,
I, David Anderson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm that I am a citizen of the United States and the state of Washington,
that I am a citizen of the United States and state of Washington,
that I am legally qualified to assume the office of Winlock City Council,
that I am legally qualified to assume the office of City Council,
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States and the state of Washington.
that I will support the laws of, can you say that again, please?
I will support the
I will
Constitution
support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and state of
and
Washington,
the state of Washington,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties of this office
discharge the duties of this office
to the best of my
to
ability.
the best of my ability.
All right, can we get Hillary onto the screen? Miss Hillary, are you available? Video's crossed out.
If I use both videos, it'll crash, so I'm gonna pause.
Okay,
Well, I can't.
no, that's fine. All right, can she answer?
Go ahead, Hillary.
There you are. Hi. Oh, we're in mute.
I'm on mute, she's on mute.
You're on mute. Can you say something? Yeah. Yeah.
takes every age. It takes every age.
Try now, Hillary. Yes, just need to be a little louder.
Hang on.
Yep. Can we get it louder at all?
What about now?
Try again.
Just put the mic by it.
Yeah, we can do this. Try talking now.
Can you understand me?
Now it's coming out. It was. No, it's not the.
I'm sorry. Please bear with us with our technical difficulties.
Okay, try again.
Try again, Hillary.
Can she call your cell phone?
Do we have a cell phone she can call? Can you call Maureen's cell phone? Yeah, she's asking for the phone.
Good job. Tell me to check the TV.
Can we check the TV volume and see if the TV volume needs to be turned up?
Try now, Hillary.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. All right, try.
Thank you, Robert.
I was trying to find your phone number.
Okay, we are here. We are on agenda item number, city council, number 14, city council invocation and reflection policy. We've had a couple of questions from the public about a chaplain model or a local model. And we're looking for discussions tonight.
What you can
Okay,
discuss.
let me know what, are you going to discuss or do you want questions to me or?
Can you-
I didn't hear any questions related to this before you asked me to show my face on screen. I couldn't hear if it was being discussed. So is there specific questions you want me to talk about?
So, the one question that I have, and I looked for it, but I couldn't find an answer. Can a city establish a standard invocation to be said at every meeting?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, you're asking legal advice and the question's going to always be, there's a level of risk associated with anything a city does. So, yes, absolutely, you can do that. I've seen other cities do it and not get challenged. Is there a potential to get challenged? Absolutely. I don't know the community well enough at this point to say if you're going to absolutely face a challenge no matter what you do. That's certainly one of the least risky ways to go about it. If you open it up to the whole community or all religions, you are going to get all religions participating and they're going to be entitled to participate. So you may get Christians, you may also get Wiccans. And if you open it up in that regard, it certainly brings more of a risk of participation from the more bizarre. I worked with a city that had a spaghetti monster god asked to give an invocation. And so that's it. If you Google it, that's a real thing. So you just have to be careful. So while your suggestion, council member, is a good one, it does pose the least amount of risk. But I'm a lawyer, and so I'm going to say that there's not zero risk involved with an invocation. I heard some of the public council comments earlier, and it certainly is true that anytime you invoke the word God, you're going to prompt big feelings from the community. So no matter how you go about it, there's always a little bit of risk, but I think that's one of the least risky ideas.
somebody in public asked about the chaplain model, the city appointing chaplain. So I'm unfamiliar with cities doing that. Can you explain that?
I've actually never heard of a city doing it. I know other nonprofits, and I think the federal government does it from time to time. It's my understanding that those are usually paid positions. Again, I'm not sure what religion you would want that person to be, and choosing one person from one religion does seem a bit dicey to me. But the Army does it. So it's, again, a different kind of risk. I'm not sure if you have someone in mind, if you've got a local pastor who's really all-encompassing, who would be a great fit, or if this is just a what-if or a hypothetical that needs some more fleshing out. I don't know any city in Washington State that does that.
Hillary, could you ponder this? What if the people of Winlock voted on council members, and then the council member, one of us, had a position called chaplain? That we would vote on a position called chaplain. And that way.
You could absolutely do that. You can do anything you want. And I'm not trying to be facetious, but you could also appoint, one of the council members to be the council member who always wears green. You're the council, it's your body. You can do just about anything you like in regard to creating titles and roles amongst yourselves. The title of chaplain doesn't concern me so much as the content of what that role is going to be. So you are all paid by the city. I would not necessarily, you'd have to think really carefully about whether or not you're going to endorse someone who's getting paid, even though it's not the largest salary in the world. The council members are getting paid to do this role. What kind of religious implication or, cross-pollination you're going to get between religion and politics there. So it's something that you guys could do. Again, it does carry a little bit of risk. If you're going to be, not just secretary, not just mayor pro tem, but you're going to appoint a chaplain as well. Really thinking about that, what that role means, what duties that would carry with it, what obligations and potential downside there would be to that.
So, just a council discussion, based on the policy that's written, like I wouldn't be prepared to take a vote on it because I feel like there's some things in it that I need some changing. One of those things was mentioned earlier by a citizen, number 4, the content. It says the city shall not prepare, approve, edit, or review the content of an invocation or reflection in advance. And let's see, further down it says an invocation or reflection shall not be used to proselytize or attempt to convert attendees. That kind of opens up a door to what if they do? Are we prepared to intervene? Like, so let's say the door is open for someone to come and give an invocation, and doing so, the invocation degrades another religion. Are we prepared to stop them in their tracks? Are we prepared to?
But that's the thing, if we open it to one, we have to open it to all, so
No.
we couldn't stop it.
No, we have to, because according to our policy, it says an invocation shall not be used to disregard or
Oh, gotcha.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah, another religion. So the thing is, if that doorway is open and someone comes in here to give their invocation, are we as a council prepared to intervene? We need to, that's the reason, okay, so when I brought this to our attention, my purpose wasn't to have religion as a topic. My purpose is to have prayer over our meeting. 2 different things. I don't want our meetings to become a circus. So that's why I was looking into not opening the door to a whole different religious groups coming in, speaking over our meeting. I want, as it says, I want the meeting to be spoke of with grace, with respect, with fairness and peace. I don't want just someone coming here chanting stuff. And so, what I would like to do, and I'm just gonna share this with you guys, I would like for us as a council member to establish a standard invocation that we share, that we speak over our meeting, that doesn't cross the lines, that doesn't cross any federal lines, but just something that bless our meeting and bring some type of respect to our atmosphere. That's my goal, that was my intentions when I brought this to us the first time. It's not to blow up any particular religion or to make any one denomination bigger than the other. It's just to bless our meeting. And if you guys are okay with that, I would like to do a little more research on that. Bring it to y'all attentions on a couple of different ideas I have. And also hear back from you guys if you have any as well.
So you'll come back and with
Like
some
3 or 4,
options.
yes.
Perfect.
3 or
Okay.
4 and you guys can critique it. Let me know what you think about it and add your own words if you feel free. Because I want it to be a group thing, not an individual. So,
Do we have a motion to table?
I make a motion to table the invocation and reflection policy.
I'll second.
Or you can, all in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. City of Winlock, item number 15. City of Winlock, Washington, resolution number 2026-09. A resolution of the City of Winlock, Washington, adopting the 2027 through 2032 six-year transportation improvement program and providing for severability and establishing an effective date. Do I have any discussion?
Robert,
You guys got any questions about this?
I'm a little,
you might want to share with the public what it looks like.
yeah, I'm a,
You might.
Share with the
Share with public what it is, what we do every year when we do this.
Oh, with our step?
Yeah.
So our step gets turned in, we do DOT and a couple other jurisdictions, Commerce gets it. It's just plans, you know, like everything we wanna do in the city, you know, your biggest dreams and wishes can come true. Like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. We're gonna repave every road, stormwater and everything.
sidewalks.
We do have some of these already, we have grants for some of these already. We have the Washington and Benton stormwater and all that. That has already been, that'll be coming up soon. We have our ADA ramps updates throughout the city. That's gonna be coming up very soon. I know Devin's working on both of those projects right now. And Maureen and I have been working for like 8 months with FEMA on getting some other projects taken care of, or we're working towards getting funding for some stormwater and things like that on some different streets and getting work done on some streets that really need it. So we should find out by end of the year, I think. I know like October is the deadline for everything, so I'm hoping by the end of the year, the first next year, we'll find out if we get funding for what the requests that we had put in for them. And I did talk to, Ward. I'm trying to think of his name. Anyways, he's from FEMA. We are gonna put in for, redoing all of the stormwater down Southeast First Street, like everything, and installing stormwater on Front Street also. And we'll see if that goes through, but he did tell us that after our FEMA request, to contact him and put in an application for it, and he'll see what he can do. So, they see the need that we have for it, I will say that. They've been very responsive to us about everything. I mean, they've been really good to work with, actually. A lot better than I thought it would be.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robert. Thank you, Robert.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2026-9, six-year transportation plan.
A Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 16. The City of Winlock, Washington, Resolution number 2026-0. -10. A resolution of the City of Winlock, Washington, declaring the personal property of the City of Winlock to be surplus and of no further use to the city. The City Council of the City of Winlock, Washington, do resolve as follows. And this is about, Robert, do you want to talk about this as well, the basketball hoop and stuff?
Oh, yes. So this is down the park, and Roy tore out the basketball hoop. If you guys haven't seen it, put in new hoops and new poles, and it looks really nice. And so we took the old pole, and the backboard was donated, I know, and I think the hoop might have been, but the backboard was pretty much destroyed, and the pole got a kind of a bend in it, so they were gonna basically get rid of it. I don't think it's something that's safe for us to put up somewhere else and try and use when.
The rim got broken.
Yeah,
The
long,
rim got
quite.
broken 2 weeks before I put up, or a week before I put up the basketball. It
Yeah,
was-
and we put like 3 backboards on it, and for sure 2 hoops since I've been here. So I mean,
Yeah, but that one was all broken before we tore it down.
yeah. So yeah, I mean we could surplus it.
Is there any discussion on?
You could cut it down and make an 8-foot pole out of it for a hoop. Somebody wanted a dunk hoop, but you have to cut it off.
I just noticed that this will have to be amended with a different attorney.
Yeah.
Okay. We can pass it amended with the new attorney.
Yep. I'll fix it.
Do I have a motion for the surplus?
I'll make a motion for resolution 2026-10 surplus city property, the broken park equipment, basketball hoop, pole, and bent pole, and the backboard, as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, legal services contract for Winlock Municipal Court Prosecution, Younglove, Coker, and Rhodes. I put an email from Madison and a letter from the judge. And you each have one in your packet. But the long and the short of it, I think they cannot have any input, but they're saying, please let's get this done so we don't miss any court dates, is how I interpret it. Their court dates are 8/27, 9/10, and then we have a council meeting on 9/14. So they have court coming up.
So what is this asking, to go into an agreement with this law firm?
Yes, for prosecution.
When I looked up this law firm, it doesn't mention any prosecuting law. It's insurance, personal injury, land use, real estate, and business law.
They come highly recommended.
They
I've
have
been-
filled in occasionally when there's been a conflict of interest.
And how long is this agreement for?
I mean, probably until 30 days. Attorney.
September 1, 2026 until terminated pursuant to the agreement.
But, we can also, looks like we can mutually agree to terminate at any time if we want to. Looks like they have that.
And what are their prices? Because if they're coming from Olympia, that's quite the traveling distance.
Oh, I saw the prices.
So,
Someone there.
there's court on August
Page 3.
27th, but this would not be effective until September 1st?
Right, I believe Mr. Buzzard's firm will do the 27th.
Oh, okay.
But we will not, if we don't pass this, we will not have court on the 10th. And so I think when they saw this on the agenda, they thought we better write the council.
saw the fee somewhere.
Section 3.
And why was this law firm chosen? Because we used them in the past, or was there some particular reason we don't have any other two to compare?
So I contacted, I got a list of all the prosecutors that come to this area. I contacted them all. Several said we're willing, but they haven't gotten any information to us. So they were very responsive and,
And my understanding, just as we're discussing this, is that in our last council meeting, we talked about that it's twice a month for 2 hours approximately is court. So when we're talking about the fees, we're not talking about like a.
and
say
do
2
they,
hours or
do they
4
Zoom?
4 hours.
But it'll be for the cases.
Do they Zoom?
I'm talking about, he was concerned about driving down. I'm just like, it's only twice a month
Zoom?
that they would drive here.
No, I was just concerned about, not having choices. So we still have budget until you saying 27? Have we asked them and what was their response?
Well, if they terminate it.
But they're still under contract until a certain date,
Until the 31st.
until the 31st. I just wanna know what was their take on, doing this prosecution.
He sent us all a letter requesting that we not.
Well, that's separate from the legal.
It is not.
That is separate from this.
No,
It is not.
it's one document. What we would have had to do was sign a separate contract for prosecution.
I think it feels odd that we would all like vote to terminate the contract per his request and then turn around and request that they renegotiate a new contract. Is that what you're asking? Because they don't want to renegotiate a new contract.
No, in that area, I know they do not, but I was under the impression that you were gonna ask them
I was, but they terminated before that. So.
about being a prosecution, about coverage of prosecution.
Well, and I actually,
Cause I know that,
I actually did approach him about it on council floor and private. So, this was entirely their choice.
so he chose not to be our prosecutor.
So,
So how you guys feel about this? I mean, it's,
What was the current contract? Is it something like $8,000 a month?
you're correct, it's 6 to 8 grand a month, correct?
So this is $300 an hour, 2 hours.
But,
2 to 4.
but
but
that's,
it'll be charged for each criminal case. So usually the criminal cases, as they come in, they create a file which is like a quarter of an hour or something like that. And so the prosecution side is probably like $3,000 to $4,000 a month.
But that was the whole city's prosecution, so now there'll be 2 attorneys, there'll be a prosecution attorney. The city's, like, what, between Robert and I and the rest of the departments, it's probably only $2,000 to $3,000.
But when I looked at Buzzard last time, it was, when I added up all the prosecution, it was at 8,000, right? Just for prosecution, not for anything else, yeah, so, yeah.
I like this contract because if we find that we're spending too much, or it does give us time to shop around too, so we could execute this so that the court calendar and doesn't, suffer while we could go get other, bids and bring it back to the council.
Is there a minimum amount of time we need to have this contract
mutually, most attorneys don't want to work for you if you don't want to work for them. They usually allow you to disagree. I think it's up at termination. The term of this agreement, and this is about the term, the parties may further define the terms of this agreement if mutually agreed to in writing. Any modification shall be bound by the same terms and conditions of the original agreement. So we could sign it, and then we could ask them that, like, would you agree to a 30-day termination clause? Would you like me to do that?
Even 60 would give us more time.
Just so that when we put it in writing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think they would probably agree to that.
You know, there's no guarantee that we would go with someone else, but it's nice to have options.
Yeah. So do we table this until we can get that from them? in
I'm
writing?
actually gonna make a motion. So I think that based on what what we got from Judge Unselman is requesting that we do something rather than nothing. And if we do the if we request the 60-day termination clause because we find something we're more comfortable with, at least we have not affected the court calendar here. I feel very strongly, because I've done some of that will actually end up being more costly to the city than this will be if we just cause a full halt.
What if I think that they would agree to a 60-day termination clause, but
I don't want to vote on hunches, and then that's where I'm at right now. I want to have something concrete. So, I mean, I hear what you guys are saying, but I just don't feel comfortable.
My issue is that we don't have another council meeting until September 14th, and court is September 10th. So I guess,
This doesn't lock us in.
right, it does not lock us in. I'm actually facing the calendars, looking at it. We don't actually have another option.
I think if we could vote on it, I will talk to Younger, and I think even if we were tied into it for a year, that's not a very long time.
I'll make a motion to approve the legal service contract for Winlock Municipal Court Prosecution, Youngblood, Coker, and Rhodes PLLC.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
For 60 days.
I'm gonna ask, but we have to sign this one, so. All opposed? Okay. Motion carries 3 in favor, 1 opposed. Number 18, Teamster 252 MOU, non-commissioned employees, insurance waiting period. I have a motion or a discussion.
I have a question. I'm trying to understand, I've read the CBA, and I'm trying to understand what exactly we need this MOU for. Can someone explain what the urgency is?
Currently, there's a 2-month waiting period, and this just allows, new employees and new hires to get, insurance after 3 years.
So like medical insurance?
Yes, medical
Okay.
insurance.
Is that 260-day waiting period their probation period?
No, the probation period is a year.
Okay. And, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just wondering, because CBAs are, negotiation can be very rough sometimes. And I know that I would love to take care of employees, that's a great thing to do. I just was curious if there was anything that the union was going to give the city back for this.
Is this gonna affect any employees now?
No, it would affect current, like, or newly hired.
But is there anybody that would fall within this?
Michelle.
Michelle would fall within, oh, so that's our new treasurer. So she would be insured,
In 30 at the end of the month instead of the 60-day reporting.
So for the city, there is a cost to this because we now, instead of 60 days of no insurance, now we're 14 and 30 days. Has anybody looked to see what that cost per employee is?
We also pushed this through for Officer Carter.
so we already have.
Yeah, we already have, we did one initial for Officer, Taryn Carter.
I don't understand, so this one doesn't, is not.
No, it was just one for Officer Carter, and this would be a second one moving forward.
So, is this, I'm sorry, I should have asked this earlier. Is this for every employee coming up, or is this just for those two?
No, it's for every new
Every
employee.
new employee.
I'm not opposed to it. I think it's asking for a lot. I think I'd like to research other CBAs, but I think this is more than county does. So, if I recall, I think I had to wait 90 days. So, but I understand medical is important.
Did you have anything?
Would you like to negotiate, with them?
Well,
Or
I
are
actually,
you okay with, what are your feelings with this?
Was,
well, I actually would like it if the union
I
had,
just want to know.
I would like it if the union had time to talk about this. Personally, I think it would have been good.
so the question is 30 days or 60 days, is that basically the question that's on the table? Do we
Yep.
agree for 30 days or 60 days? I'm okay with the 30 days. How you guys feel? I don't want to be on giving input. My input is I'm okay with it. We've done it before. And it didn't bite us in the butt.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of them was for, for recruitment, is to promote recruitment. But if we're not hiring anybody,
Right.
we're talking about for employee.
My concern isn't the 30 days. I think, I know what, and I don't want to presume to know what Dave is thinking, but this CBA was just passed, and now we're asking for an MOU, and we have until 2028. So how many more are we gonna ask for? And maybe it would be good to have a sit down with the union and say, hey, let's look at the CBA. Is there more things, and I'll visit it at the same time and with maybe some negotiation, but that's my thoughts.
But regarding this MOU, do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve, Teamster Union Local Number 5252, memorandum of understanding
This is for non-commissioned employees.
for non-commissioned employees.
Do I have a second? Do I have a second? The motion dies for lack of a second. Number 19, Teamster 252 MOU commissioned employee insurance waiting period. So this is the same thing, but it is for the officers. Have discussion or motion? we have a motion maybe to table this?
I'll make a motion to table the Teamsters 252 MOU commissioned employee insurance meeting period.
A second.
All in favor? All opposed?
Okay.
Motion carries, it's tabled. Stormwater agreement approval for Jordan Oakdal at 208 State Route 505, Winlock, Washington. I think it's you.
So this is just our standard agreement for stormwater. Jordan's got a private development, so we're not taking responsibility for roads or anything with inside his development. But he still has to have a stormwater maintenance agreement with us so that if it does fail or falter at any time, we could step in and have a company come out and do it and it'll be not charged. And we have this with everyone.
And where is this?
Right on 505, right before the Shell station, the first gas station going out of town. One on the right-hand side. He was the guy back in 2020 that graded everything before he had a seabird.
Oh, I'm looking because it says the southerly line of State Highway 603.
What page
208.
are you on?
Yeah, 208, that's all.
Exhibit A to covenant legal description of property.
So it's good, he asked us for 505.
I was confused.
That looks like that came from the county. So he's
What?
that looks like it came, something that came from the county, so he got the wrong document.
No, that's, yeah, it's probably just got the wrong stuff on it.
And I also thought I saw 603 and I thought it looked like it was
To you, section 27.
Section 27.
like the woman park. Trailer park.
Everywhere.
Trailer park by the bridge on Karen. That's what the picture kind of looks like.
Look, show the picture. Yeah, that's Jordan Oakdale's property. That's what it's gonna look like to build out. He's gonna have duplexes and fourplexes in it. Yeah, it's 36 units total. It's from RB Engineering.
We'll need to, so I'll make a motion to approve the declaration of covenant for maintenance and inspection on stormwater facilities on BMPs.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any opposed? Alicia, did you vote?
I did.
Okay. Motion carries. Okay, Rodney, you're up again. You want this?
It's a long time no see. So I'm here to request some funds. So the first one I'm looking for is when we were putting in the screw press, the one thing we overlooked is in our drying beds, the cement wall only comes up 2 feet. And then it's got a gap. That's not gonna work for storing solids, so what I'd like to do is basically, it's about $5,900 from the capital improvement fund in order to buy 33 blocks that will build a containment wall 5 feet high. You should have a letter in your thing, Ecology is gonna reimburse it, so it's just gonna be in and out. We just can't wait. So the block should be delivered anytime, and then we got a quote for $6,000 for them to build the wall, and we're just gonna do it ourselves. In-house, because I'm not paying $6,000.
And Rodney came to me and I said, do it because we're on the time commission.
Yeah, and so we can approve them one by one, or we can go to a total, but I'd like to get approval to, for 5918, to, pull out a capital improvement for the blocks. All I need now is a motion.
A motion to approve the blocks.
I make a motion that we allow Rodney to use capital improvement funds to purchase blocks for containment of solids.
All in favor? All in favor?
Right.
Any opposed? Okay, Rodney.
All right,
it's your
my
block.
next one is, so, as everybody's aware, we're working on water rights, we're trying to get water rights, but one of the areas that we have to, think about in advance is our gallons per minute that we're able to provide in the city. Right now, we operate 5 wells, we're bumping into about 300 gallons a minute, and a little bit more in the summer to provide water for our existing community, but with the projected growth, we're gonna come awful close to our 580. And the reason this is important, because if any one of our wells goes down and we can't provide the water needed to the community, we have a problem. These things take years to work through, so I'm trying to get ahead of this situation. So what I'm doing is, we're looking for a new well site that the city's gonna have to pay for. This is not Cardinal's responsibility, this will be ours. And one of the locations that we're looking at is the existing Ash Street well, which was an old well that was approved, but decommissioned because it was too close to a body of water. So what we're doing now is we're doing some infrastructure stuff, discontinuing a line. We moved a lot of people off that line that they were getting fed from. We're gonna build a road out there. We wanted to have a test well drilled to see if we can get more gallons per minute on the same lot. And the reason that's beneficial is we already have approval. So we have to get less approval to use the same area for a new well. But we don't know if it's gonna be viable or not, or if the health's gonna approve it. So this $10,000 is for Bert. He's a hydrologist. He's done all of our work for the last 15 years on the system. He's going to do the research to see if A, it's feasible, if it can be done, if health's gonna approve it, if we're far enough away from the creek, and based on that, we'll go ahead and move to the next step, which would be getting funding, because the next step's gonna be hundreds of thousands of dollars to build this well out, but we're gonna have to build a road, and he'll give us a feasibility. And so that's what I wanna get approval for. He may come back and say, thanks for the 10 grand, but it's not feasible, and that's just the nature of the beast. And there's nothing you can do really about that. It's just, I think it's feasible, but nobody cares. Except you guys.
I make a motion that we allow Rodney to spend $10,000 to check feasibility of a future well at the Ash Street location.
Out of capital improvement.
At a capital improvement, thank you.
It's Rodney's.
That's his big, that's
Yeah,
Mr.
we're
Milliman's
probably
fund.
sitting at, I would venture to guess
Just roughly.
a couple million.
So this
Is what I think is
conversion.
it. Oh, yeah. And we just did a bunch of, but as we tighten up, every year when we do the budget, I dive into that fund, because I try to, fund projects ahead. And we're gonna go for money for these other parts of it,
This group.
Yeah, so that's our goal.
We have a meeting this week, we're looking for money.
Money. I'm going to IECC this year. I go
That's
in there.
second.
Yeah.
Shut up.
All in favor?
Aye.
Trying to get
Any
you that money,
opposed?
man.
Yeah.
Okay, motion carries. Rodney, go
He's
spend
wanting
your.
to shut me up. That's not what's going on.
All right, Ray Watterson, reimbursement for Winlock Youth Basketball. On Zoom? Ray?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so back last winter, Winlock Little League paid for some improvements down there in Manolo Park to the concession stand. So it looks like they had $574.43 for a window, a concession window that was pretty fogged up, leaking, was not in good shape. So to replace that, also there was labor that had been put on top of that at $485.55. And there was also roof work done. I think Robert may be aware of this stuff. There was $1,576.80 to replace that roof and do that work. So now this was paid for by Winlock Little League, but I mean it's one of those things to where Marissa Grant Williams reached out and said, "Gosh, is there any way? I mean, this is city property. I know that we dove in and did this. And I know the city was willing to do the work at one point, but the time, I don't know if the time was the issue or what was the issue, but I'm just requesting that please consider paying them the $26,36.78 for that property. I mean, they've got enough. I mean, things have gone up considerably, and they struggled to put uniforms and everything else together last year. So that's what I'm asking for.
So
How much was it? 26.36?
78.
Yep, $2,636.78.
I make a motion that is our property, that we pay Little League back $2,636.78.
I have one problem with this. Ray, who asked you to do this? Was someone of the city asked you to do this?
No, nobody in the city asked me to do this. I actually dove in. I went down and there was a bunch of us that volunteered and you know, we kind of keep in close contact with Marissa. She does a lot for what's going on. So we asked what we could do. We were doing some work down there, and everybody was, a bunch of people in the community were, and that was one request, you know, when we talked about what she had to do and what needed to be done in that concession stand. That was the one thing that came up, and I told her I would take this on. So nobody in the city asked this of me. It was actually the Winlock Little League.
The only issue I have with this, and I don't mean to be the bad guy, but if a citizen takes upon himself to fix things around the city without being asked, is it our responsibility to reimburse them? Now, that is a good act of kindness, and I'm like I said, I'm not trying to be the bad guy, but if every citizen took it upon themselves to fix things around the city, are we responsible to reimburse them?
Well, I also think that on those lines, and I would have to go back through our meeting minutes, but it was maybe about 6-8 weeks ago that we said that like donations or reimbursements or any of that had to be pre-approved. So I'd like to actually look at that, but I actually am in agreement with Chuck that I love that this was done. I just think it kind of was like, we'll do it now and ask permission later, and so.
I don't have a problem with the reimbursement. I think we need to establish something as a council that says things need to come through the council first.
I do believe that there is.
I'm Ray. I didn't recognize it was Ray Watson. I have it down as Ray Watterson.
I do believe that
So,
we do.
this was talked about a long time ago, like quite some time ago with the roof leaking on the baseball building and the window having issues. It never got done, but the Park and Planning Commission, when we like repainted the building and stuff, the roof was supposed to be redone by the city. We were already planning on doing it. But we didn't have volunteers, we didn't have the stuff. The items that came.
Did it come before the board for money?
No, it was a public building, it was a public building, so.
At the time, it was public building.
It's still a public building. It's all city of Winlock.
So on my end, I totally agree with Chuck, and I understand what he's saying, right? But there really wasn't, I mean, I don't think they didn't know that there's a protocol they're supposed to go through, right? You really should, and that should be out there to the public, you know, don't decide you're gonna fix your asphalt in front of your driveway and hand us a bill, right? So, I mean, that's, I get that, you know, but they had no idea, time was of the essence, they had leaks, they're just, you know, everybody's getting together and just trying to get stuff knocked out, so.
And they're not saying we have to pay for it. They're asking us, and they've done a good job already.
And I'm not saying I don't want to, I'm just
Yeah.
What's
Even
gonna,
as a protocol.
Right.
what's gonna happen the next time someone comes forward with this? So now we've set the protocol, just to let you know. Now we've set the precedence, we've set the protocol that someone can go and do this and then we're gonna approve it.
Well, that's not true, because you can make a statement right here tonight saying this is the only time we're gonna do
Right,
this.
and that's-
It was supposed to be by Park and Planning was supposed to do it. We just didn't have the volunteers. We were already gonna take the money because we had money for it at the time from Parks and Planning, from Kirsten's budget to do it. She had talked about it, we talked to Kirsten about it, we want to. So it was something that was being planned through us to get it done because it needed to be done, otherwise our building's gonna be, we don't need
Fall
water,
apart.
we don't need water inside our building.
I'm
And
willing.
yes, if it didn't come before council when they're talking about it, that is a mistake on that part. but it
I'm
was
willing to
too much
make the
fun.
exception, this time because,
This one time.
you know, we help each other out as a city. And I could tell that it was on the hearts of the softball team to help us out, not for any personal gain. So that would be my reason this time. Second, motion.
So we have a motion and we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Sorry, I didn't recognize you
Yeah,
first.
have a good day.
Bye.
That's all right, that's all right. I appreciate it.
Alex Johns, oh wait, no, I'm sorry, no, yes. Alex Johns, delinquency, Alexis Johns, delinquent fee for water terminal. Is Alexis here? If Alexa's not here, we'll move on to the next item, which we've inserted, which is Booth Road. Would you mind explaining this, Robert?
Oh, yeah. So there's a little portion off Tennessee Road called Booth Road. It is a couple 100-foot section that was donated by Mr. Booth's father, I'd say, I don't know, a while ago. They were talking about the Dexter Street Bridge, when they donated the county and the city, I guess. In the easement of that is right after the Tennessee Bridge, there's a road, a little gravel road to the right. That is an easement through a certain property, and then there's a portion that was given to the city and county by Mr. Booth. And it was supposed to be a new road that went all the way to Dexter Street Bridge and then into the city. Well, Dexter Street Bridge isn't there, and the road never got built. So he came to us asking if he could do a quick claim deed to get his property back. Our attorney had mentioned that it's public property, even though it was donated. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I feel, you know, there's something that's donated to the city that we've never maintained, and it never came to fruition what was supposed to actually happen when they donated property. It's just sat there for all these years. I don't know how long, I don't know when Dexter Street Bridge was supposed to be put in, or was it taken out, or whatever. I don't know that history.
So
Yeah.
was it given as a gift and specifically allocated for that use?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, and Mr. Booth right now is only asking for permission to log the road that's
Yeah,
on
he
his
wants to log
property.
just the right of way, because he has to get trucks in there to get to his property. And so he can't, technically, he can't go off the easement road to the trucks. It's like 50-foot wide, so he needs to go to his portion that he donated, so he can make a road to get in. But the trees that are there on the hillside, he'd like to take them down. So we wanted to ask permission of the council if we can do that. You guys are more than free to walk out there. I have the lockbox code if you want to go out there and look at it. I'm more than willing to have that done.
I think we would like to see if we can get a motion tonight,
Yeah.
if we get it approved, for a motion for Mr. Booth to log the property that belongs to the city of Winlock called Booth Road. And as long as he has all the appropriate permits.
Yeah, he'll have a permit for logging for us and through the DMR. And the place he's talking about, if you guys look at it, it's like 15 foot of right of way. where there's some trees on it.
I thought he was asking for a quick claim deed for it back.
He did, but this is what it's come down to. It's gonna take more.
Yeah.
So right now, all we're asking today is permission to log as long as he has the permit.
Okay.
Since nothing has come of it, of the gift of it, then I think it's fine that he logs that portion.
Yeah, and we can just leave the road as it is and everything if you guys want. He's not too worried about it.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion for Mr. Booth to, be allowed to log the property he gave to the city of Winlock
I'll second.
with appropriate permits.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
I motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor? Any opposed?